One of the tips and tricks for when you're doing a high ozone shock treatment inside a house is to use the handy hanger. And we know that ozone is heavier than air, folks, and so getting that ozone high into the room makes a big difference in terms of broadcasting that ozone into the space that's going to be treated. You can set it on top of a ladder, you can hang it from a hook, and what we found is an easy over-the-door hanger that comes with our ozone generators if you buy it for the Pro package. And it's so simple. You just set this on, you set your timer on the other end of the cord, you turn it on, and away you go, broadcasting that ozone very high up into the room, letting it spread throughout the area being treated. So when you're buying an ozone generator, versatility is one of the most important things. It's not just our homes that need to get ozone, it's also our cars, upholstery, carpets, and furniture. And the handy BioBlaster ozone home generator is the most compact, powerful, versatile home generator on the market. So today I'm going to show you how to treat a car. Folks, when you have a car that's been smoked in, has had things spilled in it, or has otherwise mold or other problems, even curdled milk sometimes has been a problem in cars, the best way to do that is to get spot ozone treatments to the source and then treat the entire car. So the first thing that we're going to show you is how to do a spot treatment. It's always a good idea to clean the entire car, and that means to vacuum and clean the physical spilled debris. Now this car hasn't really had anything spilled in it, but it is a car that's had babies in it and lots of other things. We don't have a specific source odor in this car, but we'll show you what you do if you did. The first thing that you want to do is you want to remove the car mats so that that ozone can get exposed to the carpets. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out the mat, and then we're going to show you. When you're doing an ozone spot treatment, you always want to make sure you wear a minimum of the free ozone mask that you get with your homeowner's kit. And if you're going to do a treatment of the entire vehicle, it's always a good idea to use the ozone generator in conjunction with the timer that comes with the ozone generator. So what we're going to do is put on our mask. And what we'll do is we'll pull off the ozone hose, insert it into the output side of the ozone generator, and for this we're going to use the carpet applicator. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our mask and we're going to go over the source areas, and we're going to use 3 slow passes. 3 slow passes is enough to force that directly into those source areas. Always make sure when wearing the ozone mask to pinch the metal tabs to the bridge of your nose. That ensures you get a very good seal. So what we're going to do is put this on, pinch the tabs, and now we've got a good seal. And this machine will literally force this gas directly into these fibers, and that is what does the job. Getting that ozone right to the source of the odors. When you're dealing with smoke odors, the smoke always concentrates itself into the headliner. So make sure you always do that headliner manually before you do the whole car treatment. Another area that's always a problem are car seats. The kids spill milk in them, they spill juice, they spill all sorts of crazy things. Another perfect thing to sanitize with your home ozone generator. Car seats. You might not think that that's enough to do anything, but studies at the University of Pennsylvania have shown that as little as 5-second bursts of ozone gas can kill 99.9% of all bacteria. And when you've got your precious little ones, killing the germs in their car seats is a really important thing to do, and another great way to use your home ozone generator. Now when you want to treat the entire car, we're going to show you how to use the hose attachment to treat the whole car. We'll be back in just a second to show you that. When doing a whole car odor removal treatment, we like to always leave the ozone machine on the outside of the car. Now, there's a lot of controversy in the ozone world about this, and a lot of companies tell you, put the whole ozone generator inside of the car. Well, folks, these folks have a very bad understanding of basic science. The way that it works is this. Air is comprised of 70% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 9% other gases. So when you're running ambient air through the ozone generator, which is what you're running when you're sucking air in through the ozone machine on the inside of a car, you're going to convert all the ozone in a small area like a car with a really high-powered machine very quickly into ozone gas. The longer that recirculates, the more nitric oxides you make. And nitric oxides do kill viruses and bacteria and germs, but they also leave behind a very strong, pungent ozone-like odor that can linger for days. And you don't want that when you're doing an odor removal treatment. You want to kill the viruses, the bacteria, the mold spores, the germs, and the odors. But you want that ozone to be gone as soon as the ozone is gone, that smell to disappear. So we do not want to leave the entire machine inside the car. Now you can, if you're doing it in a pinch, you just want to do a quick freshen up, run it for a half hour or something like that. When you're trying to do a really professional, stubborn odor removal treatment for a whole car, the best way to do it is to leave that ozone machine outside of the car and pump the gas in. Because that way your machine is constantly converting fresh air into ozone gas, making a very much purer form of ozone that does all the work without leaving behind those high concentrations of nitric oxides. So what we like to do is set the entire machine on top of the car. And then we use a simple piece of window foam. This is standard hot water pipe insulation. It can be purchased at Home Depot in a 6-foot length for $1.50. But it is awesome for doing an odor removal treatment of a car. It's important to always turn on the car's air conditioning system and set that system on recirculate. What that'll do is it'll go ahead and it will begin to circulate that gas throughout the car's entire ventilation system, because that's where a lot of the germs hide, inside the AC, on the coil, in the condenser, and all of those hidden areas. And by recirculating that gas through, it keeps recycling, and it'll kill all the mold spores and all the viruses and bacteria in your in-car air filtration system that's located inside the air handling system of the car. So what we like to do is take this simple piece of window foam, if you're in a safe place, you can leave the car running so that you can do this. You take the window foam, slide it over the window, and then you roll the window up. Now, what we're going to do is close the door. And then I'm going to go in from the other side. Well, actually, I don't need to. Then what we're going to do is set our timer for the time that we want it on, plug the ozone machine into the timer, and then start the treatment. Now what we're doing is we're literally saturating this car with massive levels of ozone gas. For a van of this size, for a light odor problem, a half hour to an hour is often enough time. If you've got a very stubborn, serious, heavy smoked-in odor, you may need to run it for a few hours. Making sure that you first do that headliner and all the source areas like the carpet, and if you have fabric seats, the seats. But what that will do is completely eliminate the odors in this vehicle. Another awesome way to use your home ozone bioblaster. Folks, an ozone generator, especially a high output shock blaster, should be more than just a tool that you can set in the middle of a room and fill the space up with gas. It should be able to do real world work in terms of killing viruses, bacteria, odors, mold spores, and the like. What we're going to show you today is a way that you can use the built-in attachments to spot treat pet odors, urine spills on carpet, curdled milk, any other things that can spill into a carpet area and leave a stubborn odor. Many of you that have pets have had pets that either spray or piddle on the carpet. It's real simple with this machine. All you do is you take the simple hose attachment, plug it into the output, take your hose or upholstery attachment, make sure you use your ozone respirator, turn it on, and treat the spot. So, if Fido urinated right here, what we're going to do is several slow passes, forcing that gas deep into the fibers to get rid of Fido's urine smell. The same can be done for a couch, love seat, or any other area of upholstery that you need to treat. You simply wear your respirator and do the furniture with the same technique. Slow passes, a minimum of 3 passes for each area that you're treating. We're not vacuuming, folks. You just hear that high-powered blower literally forcing the gas into the fibers at a full 1.75 horsepower. It's the highest output blower in the homeowner ozone generator range, and these machines can make up to 20,000 milligrams of ozone per hour. There's no other home ozone generator that has this kind of versatility, output, or power. When you use it in your home, you're going to be so impressed. Folks, there's multiple ways to treat the air ducts in your house. But what we like to do, one of the easiest ways, is to actually force the gas right into the cold air return. So what you're going to do is set your timer for the amount of time that you want to run this treatment, because this will fill the whole house with ozone gas. Get rid of the, move your plants outside and make sure your Fido's in the garage. But what you're going to do is just simply remove the cold air return, take your hose attachment from the home bioblaster, plug it into the output end, fish it down into the cold air return, and then simply set the timer, start the machine. You can always come back into the house wearing your ozone respirator, open the windows and doors, and get it back to a normal fresh air level in about a half of an hour. But what we like to do is set the timer to turn off an hour or two before we get home and let this machine run for the period of time we want to shock our ducts. We like to do our ducts for a minimum of an hour to 2 hours, and we try to do our own ducts in our home once a month, and during the wintertime, sometimes even more than that, to keep the air inside our air handler nice and clean and sterile. And we simply set the ozone timer, turn the machine on, and we go out to church, to the movies, to dinner, to work, and let it run while we're gone. And when we get back, we have a fresh, sanitized, air handling system. No viruses, no bacteria, no mold spores, and absolutely no odors. It's another versatile way to use the home bioblaster.